Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing another emergency grocery budget. This is going to be a $25 emergency grocery budget challenge. Hopefully I can feed me and my family of 6 for about $25. I think this is only going to be about 3 to 4 days worth, but for $25 I feel like that's really good. We're trying to stretch out our dollar as most as we can. In this video I am assuming that you have regular seasonings, that you have salt and pepper, maybe paprika, some type of butter or fat, olive oil, something like that, to help make these dishes. So I think most people have those type of items in their pantry, so that's what I'm going to be using in this video. So let's go ahead and get started cooking. Okay, here's all my groceries for this haul. This came out to be really close to 25. It was like 24 and some change. So I think this will get us about 3 days for a family of 6. So let me just say I have some chicken. I did get this half off. Got some cheese, got a discount on that. This was half off. So I think I have about 3 pounds here I got them for like 80 cents a pound. Some tortillas, these are $1.98. These were $3.12. This I got on sale for 50 cents. These 3 I got, these were 32 cents each, so I have 3 of those for my 3 kids. A dozen of eggs were $2.08. These I got for 50 cents. These 2 were 72 cents. Oh, I'm sorry, 50 cents, 50 cents, and 72 cents. These are just some leftover potatoes that I had, but I put this in the price. I think these were about 2 and some change for all the potatoes that I have here. I'm not sure that I'm going to use all these potatoes, so we'll see how many potatoes I end up using for these meals. This was $1.58 at Winco. This was 41 cents at Winco as well. So I'm going to try to do 3 breakfast, 2 lunch, 3 dinner. One of the dinners can be used for lunch. Breakfast number 1 is just this muffin mix. I kind of got crazy and the box like literally slipped out of my hands. Super fun. And then I use egg and a tiny bit of milk there. And these made about 6 muffins. So I had 3 kids, so fed them fine. 2 muffins per, and they don't eat a whole lot. They look beautiful. All right. Breakfast number 1 is on the table. This should be enough for him, but we'll see. Is that going to be enough? 2? I hope so. So this is something that I really don't have a name for. We just always call it chicken over rice because that's usually what we serve it over. I've made this in another video before too, but this time I'm going to kind of make it universal. We're going to do it a couple different ways. So this is the main course here. So it's basically just 2 to 3 chicken breasts, and then I do an ounce of dry ranch seasoning, and then an ounce of taco seasoning, a block of cream cheese, and then I'm going to put in a can of rinsed black beans, a can of diced tomatoes, or you can use Rotels. And then I'm going to use a can of corn, and you don't have to drain it. I like for my mixture here to be a little runny. And then it's going to cook on high for about 5 hours. And then I'm just using a meat masher, a meat chopper, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just shredding my chicken here. And if you have the budget, you can add more cheese. I usually like to add more cheese to this, but it's whatever you have the budget for. And you can see it is really creamy and cheesy. So this, the first meal that I'm going to have here, I'm just putting this over rice. So this made about 10 to 12 servings, I believe, of this chicken over rice. And we had plenty more still left after that. So we had this 2 different days, I believe. So we had dinner, and then I think we had like a lunch that me and the kids had.
For this second breakfast, I'm using the remainder 11 eggs that I have, and I am going to prep this for the rest of the week, well, I guess for the rest of the couple of days that I'm doing this video for. So I'm going to use all these eggs, and we're going to cook them up. We're going to cook up some potatoes, and this day I had burritos, so all me and the kids had some burritos. And then the next morning they had taquitos, and they had that 2 days, I believe, as well. So I didn't want to keep making the same thing for 2 other days as well. So I just wanted to do it this day and get it done and over with. I don't want to make extra work and extra dishes for myself. So I'm just mixing this up, and if you have the budget, you can go ahead and add in some milk or some water to spread out your egg mixture to make your dollar go further. And here is me. I'm just dicing up my potatoes. I used about 4 potatoes for this meal. And I'm just going to cook them up on my cast iron skillet. You can use butter, you can use grease, you can use oil, whatever you have on hand, just go ahead and use it. I like to use my bacon grease. I like to use that up. It is so flavorful. So if you have bacon grease on hand, definitely use it. And that's all that I have left. Kind of sad. I need more bacon grease. But I'm going to go ahead and transfer my potatoes to my cast iron skillet and cook these up. These probably take about 15 minutes to cook up to get nice and crispy. I like it when they're like extra crispy potatoes. And then I'm going to season these with some salt and pepper and some seasoned salt and some paprika as well. I love paprika. So good, so flavorful. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. I leave the lid on maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I leave the lid off for like the last 5 minutes or so, just so they get extra crispy. And then while that is almost done, I am going to go ahead and get started on my eggs. So I use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to melt the butter on the pan and then just pour in my egg mixture. I like to season it up with some salt and pepper. Sometimes I do paprika. It just kind of depends what I'm making that day, I guess. I already have paprika in my potatoes, so I'm not going to add any paprika to these eggs. And I do not like extra hard, extra fried eggs. That's just gross. So I just kind of cook it until they're kind of glossy on top, and then I take them off. And here's my burritos for my kids. So I'm just plating them with some eggs and some potatoes. I don't have the video for the potatoes because my son was videoing this, and really, you know, kids, they're crazy. Yucky, and he's 5. So what do you expect when you give a camera to a 5-year-old? Okay, so the next meal, we're just gonna do some taquitos. I serve this up for me and the kids, about 2 lunches worth. And I'm just using the tortillas that I have and rolling them up, and then I'm gonna spray them with some olive oil spray, and I'm gonna put these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, just until they're nice and crispy on top. And I like to serve it with like some sour cream if you have sour cream, or if you have salsa, even like maybe some queso sauce, anything like that. I like to dip it in something. But these turned out really well, and the kids really enjoyed them. And they've never had these taquitos before, so I'm always interested to see if they're gonna like what I give them. But all 3 of them liked them, and it was a win for them. What do you think of it, bud?
It's really good.
You like it? Good deal. What about you? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Is it the best?
Uh-huh.
Good. Are you dipping it in your sour cream?
No.
No? No.
Some more sour cream.
How is it?
Good.
Good. You like your tortilla? He's not a bread person. So weird. We had some chips in the pantry, so I'll have aside.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of chips there. Okay, now I'm gonna be making this chicken and potato bake. I just put this on a cookie sheet So like a sheet pan meal, I guess is what you could call it. But I'm just going to prep these potatoes, get them all diced and cut, and then I'm going to flavor it with some olive oil, some salt, some pepper, some paprika, just to give it a bunch of extra flavor. I think I use garlic powder as well. Whatever type of seasonings that you have in your pantry that can season them, just use what you have on hand. And I'm going to cook these potatoes first. So I'm going to put these on my cookie sheet first, and I'm going to cook these for about 10 to 15 minutes. So it kind of gets a head start. And then while that's cooking, I'm going to get my chicken ready and start marinating. The longer that you marinate, the better your chicken, the better your meat's going to taste. You're going to get a better flavor. So I'm just dicing this up, and then I'm going to basically do the same thing that I did to the potatoes, and then I will get it on that cookie sheet that I have my potatoes on. And then I'm just gonna season this just like I did with the potatoes: garlic powder, salt, pepper, paprika, anything that would give it some extra flavor that you have on hand. So now that my potatoes have been cooking for about 10 minutes, I went ahead and just stirred up the chicken with the potatoes. And we're gonna cook this for probably another 8 to 10 minutes. And then we will put some cheese on top of that when that's done. All right, everything is cooked through. The potatoes are nice and tender, but we're just going to add some cheese, basically just to melt it, and then everything will be done and ready for dinner. Okay, and here's what it looked like when it was all done. We've never had this meal before, but it was really, really good. I love that it's budget friendly. The kids liked it. My husband liked it. It was a winner for sure. If you have peppers, I would definitely suggest putting some peppers in that meal as well to make it extra flavorful. Okay, now I'm just going to make some breakfast taquitos. Oh, so good. So good. I love breakfast taquitos and I love quesadillas. I couldn't decide if I was going to make quesadillas or taquitos, but I went ahead with taquitos. They are so delicious. Just used my leftover egg and potato mixture that I had and made the kids some taquitos. They all enjoyed them. I like how these are really good for if you're like in a hurry. You can just grab these and go, and it makes the perfect breakfast for if you're in a hurry. And I just spray them with some olive oil, put in the oven 400 degrees for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 8 to 10 minutes. And they were nice and cheesy and delicious. Is it good? Is it good? And for lunch that day, we're just having some nachos with that leftover mixture that we still have. And the kids, I think, like this the most. They love nachos. I mean, what kid doesn't like nachos? So I still have this leftover mixture. And here I'm just plating this for them, and I end up putting just a little bit of cheese on top of this as well, and they all ate this so well. And I mean, it was so delicious. For this last meal, I'm just doing a chicken thigh and rice bake. So super simple, but I'm just gonna add some flavorings. I'm just gonna add in some paprika, some garlic powder, and pepper, along with some olive oil. I'm going to mix this up. It did take a little while to mix this up, to get it all evenly mixed through. But after it was done mixed through, I went ahead and put this in the refrigerator and I let it marinate overnight, and oh my word, it was so flavorful. This amped this chicken up so much. And we just had this with some rice, and if you have it in the budget to have like with a salad or some green beans, some type of vegetable, that would be so good. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you found some new recipes for you and your family. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.